This is episode 3 of the New York City Wrestling series, where we have some different challenges and different roles that we have to oblige to and try to grow this company to number one. I'm enjoying this more than I thought I would, to be transparent. I think recording makes me accountable for the roles that we've set so far, and maybe they grow, maybe they develop, maybe they change over the course of the series. So far, the rules that we have that are applicable is one match per show must be technical masterclass or wild brawl for realism purposes of all that 70s wrestling product. We can only have very basic match setups and basic like gimmicks. Like we have a cage match, so very bare setup in regards to things like that. Our roster retention every 6 months, so by June, we must release the three workers with the lowest momentum. Once we get a larger size, maybe that grows. We can only be two over the minimum required for our size. So we are a small company, or no, we're actually a tiny company that's growing to be small, so we can only have 18 people on our roster. And then if worker A and worker B develop a negative relationship, I get one chance to kind of meddle the reins, and then I have to fire worker A or worker B, which then when we go to signing workers, I can't bring anybody back. So if I fire Riley McManus because him and Tennessee William don't get along, and Tennessee William leaves, I can't then go get Riley McManus again. Uh, Nepotism, if you have any uncle, parent, grandfather, you're not going to be signing to New York City Wrestling. We're first generation only. And if I sign somebody, but then they get signed by somebody else, I get one more show with them and then they're fired. Those who work for the company already and have multiple jobs are grandfathered in. And then I can sign only unemployed workers until I at least hit medium, I think, for fairness. Maybe first 5 years, whatever comes first, we'll have to see. We are currently at 25 in roster, have to get the 18 by June. Um, all in all, looking at the roster setup, I have 5 spots open. About 13 of the 18 are, not even 13, about 10, 10 to 12 of the 18 are locked in. Because we might want to get some new blood in there to help boost our company's ratings over time. Right now with our company, the four things to point out: Brutus Milano is our champion, solid. Curious to see how he does tonight with the match. He has Tennessee William in a cage match, so I'm excited to see how that feud concludes finally. And we get that opportunity for a first gimmick match. We have Riley McMahon on a losing streak, so maybe he's in a little bit of danger with that momentum of losing. He might be in danger of being let go. Then we have Sal DiMio, who is the godfather, effectively, of the DiMio family, and he is on a hot streak, recently implementing Supermassive Destroyer as like their hitman. And this is the first show on Wrestleworld. If you're not familiar with the Cverse, Wrestleworld is Netflix that's free, or it's almost like YouTube, I guess, where it's only based in the US for the one we are on. Each region has their own. So US has one, Canada has one, Mexico has one, things like that. So every US company we're effectively on like a YouTube. Um, it's to kind of supplement that YouTube and internet wrestling popularity. So far in our shows, about 44, 37. Hopefully we continue with that, and let's get to it. We start off our first match of Jeff Bourne versus the New York Doll, where the New York Doll defeats Jeff Bourne by Punk and Nasty. We find that our commentators have good chemistry when commentating together. New York Doll with a solid rating of 33, Jeff Bourne 28. It is what it is with this match, just a generic opener. Following that, we have Tolly Casey versus Andrew Harper. Andrew Harper via the Spike Slam. Um, Give Andrew Harper a win to recover from losing to Bruce Milano last week. And then maybe this was set up by just a basic confrontation, led to match, men being men. And that leads to a little bit of an angle later in the show that we'll get to right now, where Chuck Casey's being bullied by Howlin' Mad Morton, White Horse Whitaker. Riley McManus steps up to be Chuck Casey's tag partner tonight versus our tag champs. Then following that, we have Tennessee William, again kind of playing up that he's our best guy on the mic. We're going to give him that mic time. He goes over a promo prepping to face Brutus Milano tonight in the steel cage. Following that, we have our tag title match with the boys from Yukon versus Chuck Casey and Riley McManus. I thought this is just a creative way to use our roster, and within the match, it ended when Richie Riggins, if you remember last week, he and Riley McManus started a feud where Richie got the first win. They rolled bad chem, so maybe there's something I can do with this long term. Cost Riley McManus and Chuck Casey the cast, where the boys from Yukon got the win. Um, so Riley McManus is distracted. Chuck Casey gets distracted by distraction and gets hit with their finisher, the Timber. Uh, Pretty solid angle, I think, so far to kind of get that mid card rolling and kind of implement the Casey brothers and start developing them as a character maybe a little bit. Following that, we had the LA Stars versus Vito Pirelli and Machine Gun Marino. I was looking here. Vito Pirelli broke his neck. Whew. The what's it called? The Demio family torn Achilles, broken neck so far. Not looking too good, and we're actually going to have to go back to our booking screen here to fix the next angle, so just one moment. So what was supposed to happen is we had Saladamio uh, demand Supermassive Destroyer to destroy Vito Pirelli and Machine Gun Marino, kind of um, not blooding them in, but kind of knocking them in line. It's using Supermassive Destroyer as the muscle. And with Machine Gun Marino, Vito Pirelli, and Lucas Sacramone to basically fail their mission so far and haven't really done anything of success, this is an opportunity to show them Supermassive Destroyer as like the hired gun. That leads to our title match with the New York City Tri-State Regional title of Mass Stranger defeating Animal Harker by submission with a Cobra Clutch. This match better than what I expected. I didn't expect Animal Harker to put up a decent rating. Matt Stranger, no real storylines yet, just getting them wins, try to build up that little bit of popularity, and try to find nemesis for him. With a roster kind of going down, I'm not going to rush to like him versus Tennessee William and things like that, where I know that's going to get like good ratings and be good for everybody. So we're trying to just get him a couple wins, build up his momentum, so when he does get in his bigger feuds, his popularity goes with it. Following that, we hit our semi-main with Brooklyn's Finest, Freedom Eagle and Hawkeye Calhoun losing to Saladamio and Supermassive Destroyer. When Saladamio pinned Hawkeye Calhoun by Powerbomb, Supermassive Destroyer is a weak link, struggling to keep up everyone's performance. Like I said, Supermassive Destroyer in the ring isn't that good, so I'm not really sure. I feel like he's going to be a long-term project, but with his menace ability, I think it's where we can pop a rating with him. And definitely Saladamio as the mouth. Um, so I don't know. I kind of feel challenged by Supermassive Destroyer and hope I can build him up. And then finally, in our main event, we had Brutus Milano defeating Tennessee William with the Italian backbreaker. Defense number 4 of the New York City Wrestling Empire title. Tennessee William again puts up a great performance. And Brutus Milano kind of stays in line with the rest of our company. And things like that. So when we look at this show, second best rating, I think our first show is a 44 or 47. We'll check. Um, Pretty solid again. Again, I think the shout out goes to Tennessee William. And I'm actually going to throw Saladamio in there for his promo and just kind of pointing out that those two guys so far have been the effectively backbone my roster, and kind of curious to see how we develop here. Um, so that is that is event number 3. We'll check our popularity gains. So far, none have happened in the first 2 shows, just the way the state of the world is. But with us being on Wrestleworld, I'm hoping that changed. And then hopefully our finances aren't beat up too bad. So let's go here. We went up a popularity point in a lot of our regions here. So that's good. We're 6 away from the tri-state. But as you guys look, and can see that our ratings isn't, we need to get there still. So maybe that's a different champion, maybe that's a different, contenders, things like that. With In regards to our company, the challenge is trying to not just go ahead and rush and signing people. Now, when we go through to look at people to sign, we have to go through active wrestler, male, unemployed. Um, I don't want to abuse the talking a worker that's foreign concept. So I would say let's keep them where they have to work in the USA, and then they have to be middleweight or higher. This is a preset role within the game, so sometimes there's not that many good workers. I'm just gonna speed run it because I've already went through this, but to show you guys what I'm working with, um, a lot of heals, where I think heals right now is our strong point. So trying to find those baby faces that can help us out and that fit the criteria of it can't be a generational wrestler. So like a Chip Martin who has good star quality, can develop into a good worker, or James Diaz, they're a no-go because of the generational talent. So maybe that's where I'm gonna I already put Pepper Peloton on the short list as a way, and then we have different ones to look at. So again, with our roster now we're down to 23 because of Vito's broken neck. And I think we'll keep him and not count him towards 18 just to kind of keep him going. So we are now have to, I'd say let's get down to 6 cuts on the roster. So it's about 6 people on the roster will have to be cut so we can bring somebody in that will probably put a little bit of a rocket strap on to push to help our company's ratings out. And we'll see what happens. So do we go someone young like a Charlie Corner who has good star quality and we know might be good? Do we go with Desert Storm who we know is consistent and can do a decent rating? Um, do I do a Masked Mauler here who obviously fits right in to a feud with Mass Superstar? Do I go with like everyone's probably favorite pet project in Texas Hangman where he's 21, obviously young Undertaker, so is that something we look at? The Silencer, ready-made gimmick, great menace, pretty decent in the ring as well, but age is a concern because he might be starting to drop off. Um, Remy Honeyman, pretty solid in the ring and can help implement that technical masterclass style that we're looking to do. Quentin Queen can be I don't want to say, maybe a Nature Boy Buddy Rogers, maybe Ric Flair type character, where a little bit pompous. Um, Alternatively, we have Philip Grainer, who pretty solid across the board. Like I said, Pepper Peloton, pretty decent prospect. Justice Jolton as another muscle man, but a little bit better in the ring than some of the ones we already work with. Jason Patterson, young prospect with nothing too special, nothing too bad. Uh, Probably last on the list of here. Hammer Hadley, kind of same back to Justice Jolson, but he's a ripped light heavyweight. There's potential here of what we can do. And then we already went over Desert Storm and Charlie Corner. Because those two right now are probably either those two or Mass Miller ones are going to sign. And they're not perfect because I can only sign middleweight. That is a preset rule for New York City Wrestling, and it's a challenge. If I want just lightweight people, and what I've been trying to do is, let's say I did go over lightweight people to see if I can sign. Like Onslaught left CZ CW, but he's only lightweight, so if I gotta talk to him, try to talk him to increase his size, he's not interested. Rock and Ryan Turner, I had a TCW save where I made him a main eventer. He's not interested in increasing size. Roger Montero, that NWA save I showed back in my return video, I turned him into a main eventer of like a Nikki Champion 2.0 deal. And Stan Mana, same thing as Rock and Ryan. So we're kind of limited by the size aspect of who we can sign. So I'm excited about to see who I bring in, and it's not gonna be for a couple months still, but we're 15-minute mark, and hopefully we continue the series. I'm finding myself to go a lot more effort and finding a lot more character in these shows than what I thought. So, pretty excited to continue it. Thank you for watching, and then yeah, let me know down below what you're thinking of anybody I should bring in. Is there like a possible role break scenario where it's like, all right, you can get to go ahead and sign somebody from, you know, Pittsburgh Steel Wrestling, but you have to declare war on them to kind of start like a tri-state war. I still have not brought in a COT title, so is there anything I should be doing about the COT titles and bringing those people in? What would you guys want me to do with that? Because I kind of like being on my own little world here, and then go from there. But as you can see, the economy in the world's fallen, so hopefully I'm worried about the finances of adding some production values to make it to what's called Wrestleworld. So we'll have to see. But anyways, yeah, let me know, and